Many of us are interested in poultry farming, and the biggest question usually is, which one do I start with? With which one I mean the birds. We have the layers, we have the broilers, we have the local ones, we have all sorts of chicken, and you might wonder which one are the best for you as a poultry beginner, as a farmer who is just beginning. So in this video, we are going to be addressing all those types and why and which one you should start with. My name is Lynn Zabu, and this channel is called Lynn Zab's World. I share with you all the inspirational gist, the music, and everything in between. Okay, let's get into the video. Lynn Zabu, hi, oh, 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 oh. As a new or as a beginner farmer, especially a beginner poultry farmer, these are the most important key things for you to note. One of them is how much capital you have, because let's be very realistic. Poultry farming requires cash, like hard cash. You cannot start a poultry farm if you do not have cash to start with a small bird house, for example. Now, when I was starting mine, you all saw how I started. First, I spotted a neighbor's house and I realized she has space, and I asked her if I could use her space for commercial beginner poultry farming. And she said yes, because we had reached an agreement. And then the other thing, I started with my own space, but there are other ways you can do it in your own very, very, very small spaces and make a living or profitable farming out of it. So when I was starting, I thought to myself, which one would be the best for me to use? Which type of bird will be the best for me to start with? So initially, I gave myself a challenge of 100 birds, but unfortunately, I was delivered about 85. And of course, as you know, you get 85, but you'll get to lose a few of them along the way. I started with the very local hens. Why? Because in my mind, I thought that they were easier to look after. Okay? And because when I go out to buy hens or to buy chicken, I'm always interested in buying the local ones, because I assume they get less chemicals, injected in their bodies. But that's also a topic for another day. So you're just starting. Which type of bird is the best for you to start with? Depends on what your goal is. If you are planning on growing bigger and bigger and better every day, you must start as small as possible. For my case, I started with 100 birds, 85 birds, but I did not know all the things that I know right now. I did not know that you have to vaccinate your birds every single week for the first 2 months. Do you even know what that is? It is to vaccinate every single week. You don't know? Well, ask me, I'll tell you. But anyway, we have broilers, we have croilers, we have local, and then layers. If you want to, you must look at what kind of bird has market first. I think broilers, these big birds that are big and very white. I think if you're a starter, those are the best ones to start with. First, because they grow too fast, like very fast. If your broilers are better to start with, because why? Because they grow too fast, like they grow very fast. But then the problem with broilers is that they're more fragile to look after than any other part. So you must be very, very careful when you're starting out with broilers. And then remember to start small. Okay? Small. Then there is local eggs. There is layer hens. With layer hens, of course, again, start small. But with this one, it takes a longer time for these hens to start laying eggs. It takes up to 5 months for them to start laying eggs. And the way you have to feed these birds is crazy. It's a lot of feeds. 5 months of just injecting in, because at the start of the video I told you that you are just injecting in money and you're a beginner. So 5 months of you just feeding them without them giving you eggs may be a little bit of time. So you might want to start with a little bit of backup from some other businesses. But the layers in the long run will pay more than any other type of birds. I don't know if that's making sense. Okay, so if you start with layers, you must make sure mentally you're prepared that they're going to take a longer time to start giving you eggs. And then you would want, if you get, let's say 300, you know what you do? You bring half, which is 150, and then you first keep them for until they are 1.5 months or 2 months, and then later you bring the balance, which is 150. Why are you doing them in phases? Because when you do them in phases as a starting poultry farmer, you're learning along the way. Like, you learn as you grow or as you get better. And then the mistakes that you made on your first batch will not be repeated in your second batch. You might lose 50 in the first and lose maybe 10 or even nothing in the next batch. So you have to make sure that you put your chicken or do your poultry farming in batches. If you like the video so far, give it a like. Okay? Okay. And then you're doing them in batches, and this applies to every type of hens that you're trying to keep or that you're trying to develop a business out of. You keep them in batches so that you are always on market, so that you always have market. Okay, when they're looking for these chips women who want quick hens, when they're looking for the ones to put on the road, you have. When people are looking for eggs, you have. When they're looking for ones to eat, you have. That's why it is important for you to keep your birds in steps, not all at once, because if they get a problem, you are losing it all at once. Now, when it comes to the local chicken, you'd want to start small as well. But here is the trick with the local chicken. The eggs of a local chicken are more expensive than the eggs of the layer commercial hens. But the issue is when you, oh God, my roosters. So the issue is finding the market for the local eggs. There are just a few people. Issue is finding the market for the local eggs. You know why? Because there are just a few people. I mean, if you go to the supermarket, tell me how much local eggs do you find and how much commercialized layer eggs are there? There are many. Even on the village, like where I am now, I think a local egg costs between 1,000 to 2,000, whereas a commercialized layers egg is at 500. So you see the difference is very huge. The only reason you do local hens, I'm telling you these things because I have learned them as I've grown, okay? I'm learning with you guys. So the only reason you should have both hens is because when you penetrate the market and now you've identified where your market is, which supermarket you're going to supply, unless you're very smart. Listen, if you're very smart, it can actually work for you. We have people who use their personal cars. They put in eggs and go and stage them on the roadside, and they get their money. But if you're going to get those people who are going to hold buy from you, like they're going to come and Subla is called what in English? That one. If they are coming to buy from you so that they can go and retail sell, they're going to cheat. They're going to cheat you. They're going to take advantage of the fact that you don't know the market, you don't have the market. So the the biggest reason as to why I'm saying start small is because when you start small, it will be easier for you to sell those hens. It will be easier for you to know the demand. It will be easier for you to maintain them food-wise, because I promise you, it's a huge thing, okay? So there you go. If you are a new poultry farmer, you must be very strategic, because every person you ask, because experience is different for every person, okay? Some people are interested in the local hens and they have their reasons as to why. Some of them in broilers or croilers or whatever. But if you're starting and you want to invest heavily in it, I would suggest, if you have like a portion of 2 spaces where you can grow one type in this and then another type in another cell, it will be very useful to you to learn which one best works for you or for your financial status. Okay? Okay, I hope that it's making up some sense for you as a new poultry farmer. And market is very difficult. Market is a very tricky place. So you don't want to start with 2,000, 4,000, even 10,000. Some of you even do it, yeah? So you'd want to start small and grow with your business. When you're done growing with your business, and now you know the market, and now you know where to sell your eggs, and now you know how to clean after your hens and maintaining it, then you are good to go. But the whole essence of this video is to let you know that you can start from wherever you are and with as less capital as possible. Even if you have 2 hens or whatever, they can start up a very profitable business. Just don't pressure yourself. Trust the process, and everything is going to work out just fine. So today, me and my neighbor, we wanted to change the roosters. We have placed the rooster in my former house, in my former chicken house, the ones that died. Of course, I sprayed it first. I did a lot of spraying and a lot of cleaning. We had to separate the roosters because we don't want them to claim their sisters, to reproduce, to fertilize the eggs of their sisters. Yeah, we want to put in a new rooster, which is totally a different family, and see what the results were. And it's been good. It's been a very fantastic day. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe I didn't deliver to your expectation. You can leave it in the comment section below so I can answer to it, also that somebody can help us with it. Okay? Yeah. So I'll see you in another one. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you for me. Bye.